Hello everyone, Rosemary here from the Sweet Poppy Stencils design team, and welcome to another inspiration day. Our theme for this month is Christmas. I really enjoy making these videos to share with everyone, so today's card I'd like to share with you is this one. I've used the Sweet Poppy Stencils Poinsettia Flower Circle Stencil, which is number SP399. I've used the Festive Candle, and I've used the Festive Wishes from the Festive Phrases stamp set. So to start our card, we need to have a 15 centimetre backing paper, topper I should say. So it measures 15 centimetres. So I'm just going to put my card there. So to start off, we need our stencil. And our magnetic sheet. I've got a piece of plain paper on mine just to help me lift it off if I need to. And of course we need Lucy's masking tape. So to start with, because I want to have two colours of my inked up poinsettias, I'm going to mask off my leaf area, and then I'm going to work on the red, and then I'm going to mask off the poinsettias, and I'm going to do all the green. So to start with, I'm just going to rip up some tape. I'm going to mask off with the tape my leaves. I think this is the longest part of the work we have to do today, is masking off. So this is actually part of the flower itself. I'm just going to put a little bit there to cover up that bit. And that's our leaf. I'm just going to have a look. That bit there I thought was a flower. And I always check, and it is a leaf, so we'll mask that bit off as well. I'm also masking off this circular bit because I want it to be green as well. I'm going to put that in there. I'm looking at my picture with my card so I can just make sure that I'm masking off the right areas. Sorry. And there's just a couple of little tiny bits in here that need masking off. Piece there, and a little piece there. Oops. Now we're ready to ink up our poinsettias that we want in red. So I'm using Carnation Red archival ink. Oops. I'm just going to dab it off into my lid. And I'm just going to use circular motions. Oh, you know what I've forgotten, don't you? Look at that. You don't want to get ink on our card. Sometimes you actually forget that your card is showing. And you forget. So I do always mask it off. I'm not sure why I forgot then, but it can't all be perfect. Okay, so let's colour our poinsettias red. There we go. That's our red done. So we can put that away and the brush. Now we can peel off our masking tape. Oop. Got to our leaves green now, so we need to make sure it's showing. Because I've used archival ink and your ink doesn't really come off, so it doesn't come off onto our green brush. So you can give it a wipe with just a dry cloth. Or you can take it off and clean it. I just wipe mine with a dry cloth. I don't mind if a little bit of the leaf goes red, because after all they are red and green plants. Okay, so we are going to use leaf green for our leaves. But before we do that, we need to mask off our poinsettias now. So you only need to mask off the areas where you've got the edge of the flower, not the whole flower itself. So I'm just going to mask off the flowers that are next to the leaves. That's that area done. Now I'm going to do this area. Yep. masking off the leaf again. I don't need to mask off the leaf, I need to mask off the flowers. Oh, sometimes I just don't think what I'm doing. There we go. Now this little bit here. Oops, a daisy. Turn that round and put that there. As you're doing this, you can see where some of your tape edges will come in handy for actually fitting into the flowers. And there we have our flowers all masked off. Just doing this little bit here because it's next to the circle. So that's going to come in quite handy to cover that little bit up there. There we go. Now we can take our green ink and I did clean off my brush. And I'm just going to start on my circle and work my way round, making sure that I get into these little bits here, these little dots. Now I'm brushing away from my coloured poinsettia. I know I've masked it off, but I don't want the tape to lift. So I'm brushing onto my tape and away from it, so I don't lift it up, if that makes sense. I'm going to do the same down here. I'm going to brush away, and I've just noticed a little bit of my flower is still in view, so I'm just going to cover that up. This is why I wanted to put my tape on as well, because sometimes when you're doing this bit you might go over the edge. Just gently finish off going over your card, or your stencil, sorry, your stencil. So that's the first part of our stenciling done. So I'm just going to bring my magnetic sheet forward so I can lift up my card. I'll put that to one side and I'll wash that later. And there's the first part of our card done. And I don't need that now. Put my brush away. Okay, so the next part of our card is to do our stamping. So for my stamping, I have used the Festive Candle, and I've also used Festive Wishes from the Festive Phases stamp set. Okay, so I'll just get that one out. So there's my Festive Phases stamp. And my candle stamp. Now they have been cleaned, so I always clean my stamps. They still look black, but they've been used quite a lot. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our stamping platform out. I'm just going to clean my hands with hand sanitizer because I've got some archival ink on my fingers and I don't want to get it onto my card. Whoops. Okay. There we go. So we're going to place our card onto our stamping platform. Let's move it right over into the corner. Can't find the edge now. There it is. So that's our card on there. Now, I've made paper masks for my flowers using just normal old bits of copy paper. And I'm just going to mask off, and on the back of my piece of paper I just used a folded up piece of masking tape to hold it in place. And then I've got a nice little one for the little piece. And I'm just going to mask that one off. So I've just stenciled it onto a piece of paper, and then I've cut it out with a pair of scissors. And then, as you can see, my stamp is above and behind the poinsettias. So I need all this bit to mask off as well, so that we don't get no ink on to our base of our card. And once again, Sweet Poppy Stencils low tack tape is a wonder. I'm going to put a little bit over there. You'll see why in a minute. Make sure all our green little circle is covered. There we go. Okay, So now when we place our stamp on, loads of little bits of dust everywhere. So I'm taking my stamp and I'm just looking at my picture and I'm looking at my stamp. And I can see that these little berries here, so these little berries here, I don't want them to be behind the leaf. And I'm also keeping this leaf here. I hope you can see this one here above the petals and not underneath the petals. So that's where, so as you can see, some of my stamp would have stamped onto this part. So that's why I've masked off. I'm not using that yet. I've got bits of dust. There we go. It's gone. So we're just going to press down on our stamp. Press down on our stamp. Make sure we're happy with where it is. And then I'm getting my jet black archival. And I'm going to ink up my stamp. I've got ink on my fingers already. I can feel that my fingers went in the ink. So I'm just going to give it another quick dab over. And get the ink off my fingers. Then I'm going to stamp my candle image. And I've got my little buddy here. Call him my pressure buddy to give me a bit more extra pressure on my stamping, pressing down. And then lift. And as you can see, it's come out lovely, but there are a few little bits around the edges of these leaves that haven't come out. So I'm just going to re-ink the flower. That may be enough. So I know it's there and there. So we'll use my pressure buddy and lift, and beautiful. I'm really pleased with that. Oh, and one little tiny bit there. Another leaf. So I'll just press down and there we go. Beautiful. I'm really, really happy with that now. So now I'm going to remove my masks that I've made. And that's our stamping done. So now take away our candle stencil, candle stamp, sorry. And we're now going to mask, we're going to stamp our festive wishes. So I'm just going to put that there. Yes, that's there, love that. And press down. And then once again with our jet black archival ink, I'm just going to pad down onto my stamp. I've got a little bit on my top of my stamping platform, so I'm going to just wipe that away. And we're going to press down with our pressure buddy. And there we go, our festive wishes stamp. Put that with our candle so that it gets a clean later. And that's our topper, nearly finished. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a red and a green glitter pen and a clear glitter pen. Now with my clear glitter pen, I'm going to scribble onto my mat. I'm going to spray a tiny bit of water. I've got a very thin paintbrush here. It's a 0 paintbrush, very thin one. Pick up a little tiny bit of water and some glitter. And then I'm just going to spread it onto my flame, just to give my flame a little bit of a sparkle. I'm not sure if you can see that. And then with my green glitter pen, I'm just going to go over my dots. Just to give them a bit of glitter. And then with my red pen, I'm going to do the dots for the poinsettias. So I'm just gently pressing down over each dot. And that's our card finished, our topper finished, I should say. I'm not going to mount this one because I've used the glitter pens on it and that they take a while to dry. So as you can see, our card will go over this one. And in most of my previous videos, you've seen me use the black Sharpie pen just to bring out the topper more against the card at the back, the mount or the layer. This is, yeah, so we're mounting onto a layer card. So the girls have worked really hard and they've done some beautiful videos, and I hope you enjoy the day and managed to get to watch them all. Don't forget, you can always find all the videos in the features tab at the top of the page. I'd like to wish you all a very happy Christmas and a wonderful new year, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.